So this is going to be one of the most important videos that you will watch when it comes to your event decorating business. Please make sure you watch it till the end. And I know what I'm going to talk about in this video is not something that you want to hear. A lot of times when people start an event decorating business, they only focus on the event decorating part. So it's about building inventory and buying balloons and finding clients and learning how to price. One of the most important things that you can do for your event decorating business or for any business is to protect it. So in this video, I am going to give you 5 ways to protect your event decorating business. But before I get into it, let me formally introduce myself. My name is Lanielle Kuzar, and I am the owner of Yes Event Academy. I teach people just like you, people who love to decorate events. I teach them how to turn it into a business and start booking clients. Before I get into how to protect your business, I want to explain why you should think about protecting your business, why this is so important. Now, when people first start their event decorating business, they are laser focused on the decorations. You just want to get out there and get in front of clients and start decorating. But here's the thing, things can go wrong. Things can happen. What happens if a client is not satisfied? What happens if a client decides they are not going to pay you, right? What happens if your inventory is damaged? What happens if there's a global pandemic that shuts down your business, so now you can't decorate for your clients, right? What happens when things don't work out the way that you thought that they were going to work out? What happens when the client is not satisfied with your service or your decorations? And if you don't believe me, you can watch this video. This video is a prime example of how things could go wrong with your event, okay? Now, let's get into it. So one way that you can protect your business is to create an LLC, okay? So an LLC typically has a fee associated with it. It is not free. So you want to see in your state or your country, right? How much is it to create an LLC? You don't have to create an LLC in order to start an event decorating business. So a lot of people come to me and they ask me, do you need an LLC to start booking clients? No, you don't. You could create a sole proprietorship and that's free, right? But the thing is that when you create a sole proprietorship, that means that you and the business are one and the same. So if somebody comes to sue you, they could take all of your personal assets, not just your business assets, right? So that's the reason why you want to create an LLC, so you can have a distinction between this is my personal and then this is my business. The second way that you can protect your business is by getting business insurance. So many people are out here decorating events without business insurance. And let me tell you, there are some places that will not even let you decorate events without business insurance. So if you're trying to decorate at a hotel, if you're trying to decorate at like a waterfront property, if you're trying to decorate for the government, a lot of times they want to see proof of insurance before they even let you onto their property. Now, if you're decorating at community centers or like local event venues, a lot of times they don't ask you for business insurance. But the bigger hotels and places like that, they will ask you for a copy of your business insurance. If you are wondering like, how in the world do I get business insurance? I will put my insurance agent's information in the description, okay? So that you could reach out to him. He has agents and connections all over the US. So you could reach out to him and see if he can help you, okay? This video is not sponsored at all. Like, I am not his affiliate. I don't get any kickback or anything like that. I'm just telling you that you could always reach out to my insurance agent if you are looking for a quote. The third way that you can protect your event decorating business is to create a contract. So I talked about that in this video. I went over why you should create a contract and how you should create a contract for your business. When a client signs a contract, they are agreeing to all of your terms, all of your policies, everything that is in that contract. So let's say that the client comes back and says that you didn't provide something that you were supposed to provide. Like you didn't provide some decorations that they thought you were supposed to provide. You can go right back to that contract and say, let's see what the contract says, right? Let's say that you get to the event and the venue is not open. So you only have 2 hours for setup, but when you get there, the place is not even open. And let's say that the place doesn't open for another hour. So you thought you were going to have 2 hours for setup and now you only have 1. Now you're protected because in your contract, it says that you are supposed to have 2 hours of setup time, right? So let's say that you don't get the decoration set up in time, right? Or let's say that you're still setting up as the guests are coming in. Or let's say that the photographer shows up and they think that they're going to start taking pictures and you're like, no, I'm not ready yet, right? Now you're covered in your contract because you were supposed to have 2 hours of setup time, right? But if you didn't have a contract, now the client can say, oh, well, the decorations weren't set up in time. They could blast you on social media. They could blast you, right, in the reviews, write a bad review, and you wouldn't be able to do anything. So your contract is the agreement that says this is what we agree to. So if your client tries to slander you, if they're going to the credit card company and they're disputing the charge because they said that you didn't do something, right? And they're lying, because sometimes people do lie, unfortunately, right? Most of your clients will not. Most of your clients will be good clients. But there are some times where you will get bad apples. The fourth way that you can protect your event decorating business is to meet with a lawyer. So when you first start your event decorating business, I would not recommend that you try to do everything on your own. I would highly recommend that you meet with a lawyer in your area. Have them review your contract. Ask them questions. Ask them, is there anything that you should be aware of, right? Ask them about the laws in your state so that they can give you legal advice. The thing is that you don't know what you don't know, right? Most of us who have an event decorating business, we are not well versed in the law. So another way that you can protect yourself is to meet with a lawyer so that they can educate you and let you know what you should and you shouldn't be doing with your business. The fifth way that you can protect your business is not to overpromise. Do not promise the client that you can do something that you've never done before. Do not overpromise when it comes to setup. So a lot of people, when we first start our business, we are so overly ambitious in what we can achieve and what we can do within a certain setup time. So let's say that the client gives you 1 hour for setup. 1 hour is not enough time to set up a whole event. So if somebody's giving you a very limited amount of setup time, then you have to be very realistic when it comes to what you can do. And for me, I always like to underpromise and overdeliver. But if you don't want to underpromise, then just promise and deliver. The last thing that you want to do is to have a client sign a contract or to set a client's expectations of something that you can deliver, something that you can do, and then you don't come through. The last thing that you want is a client that's disappointed. And let me tell you, people are not, they're not just going to take it. They'll write you a bad review. They'll go on social media. They will blast you, right? There are some clients who will try to sue you. So one of the best ways that you can protect your business is not to overpromise. When a client is coming to you, if you can't do it, then say no. This is not something that I've done before. When you don't have to necessarily say it in that way. Like if a client is coming to you and they're asking you for something that you haven't done before, you could easily show them what you have done, right? You can say, well, I don't offer this, but I do offer this, right? If a client is coming to you and they give you a 1 hour setup time, you are not Houdini. You cannot set up a whole room by yourself. Even if you have a team, it's going to be very hard for you to set up a whole room by yourself. Be very realistic with what you can do. Sometimes people get so excited because they want the exposure, right? We want the exposure. We want clients to book us. We want to build our portfolio. And we end up agreeing to something that's way beyond our capacity. Something that we should never have agreed to because we physically just can't do it. So, especially for everybody who's decorating events, if you're starting your business by yourself, you have to be very careful with what you decide to take on. When I first started my business, I did not take events where people were having over 50 guests. So when people would come to me and say, I'm having 200 people, oh, thank you so much. But unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to decorate an event that size, right? So the thing is that sometimes you have to say no because you don't want to agree to something and then you don't deliver. That is when you are really putting your business at risk. That's when you're putting your reputation at risk. At the end of the day, it's better to book clients that you know you can deliver exactly what they're asking you for. If you've never done it before, don't agree to it. A lot of people just think they can just wing it, right? Oh, I'll figure it out. I can watch a YouTube tutorial. I'll figure it out. You may not be able to. So the best way, one of the best ways that you can protect your business is not to overpromise. If you can't do it, turn the client away, right? Turn the client down or refer them to somebody else who can do it. It's much better to say no and save your business, right? And save your reputation than for you to take something and end up ruining your reputation because you overpromised and underdelivered. All right, so that was the 5 ways on how you can protect your event decorating business. I know that this is not something that most people want to talk about. I know that you want to get right out there and start decorating events, but trust me, this is one of the most important things that you could do for your business. You will thank me later, right? You will thank me later. The worst thing that can happen is if things go wrong and you haven't protected your business and now you're questioning and you're wondering, oh my goodness, what do I do? So I want you to go into your event decorating business fully prepared and fully protected. All right. Now, if you have any questions on starting an event decorating business, I actually have a quick start guide for you. So I have classes that will get you started, right? Decorating classes and business classes that will teach you what you need to know to get your business started this year. All right. If you have any other questions, please let me know, and I'll see you in my next video.